Hey, welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps. We've got a great show for you this evening. Got some great topics to cover. A lot of stuff happened this week, so we got a lot to cover. Just released a video on this channel on difference between right and left, which I like to call the freedom scale. So the further right you go, you have more freedom, smaller government. Further left you go is less freedom and more government. So yes, that's right, Lloyd. That's it's like a mirror. I'm going that way and that way. All right, so let's get this show on the road. Let's welcome all the way from the muggy, hot Muskogee, the dulcet tones of Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Actually, we have finally got a break. It's almost winter weather here. We're only in the low 90s.
Oh,
Matter of fact, yesterday it was just in the upper 80s, and we had rain and thunder and lightning and storms and all sorts of wonderful stuff.
Oh, wonderful. Well, here today, we're in the 70s today.
We came in from that family party that we went to. I checked the temperatures. It was 92 degrees, but it has started raining right after we got in, and we had 92 degrees with 91% humidity.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, yeah.
Almost like being in Manila.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's like the Central American jungles are, down around the equator and stuff. Yeah, that's the same thing. So. I apologize. I'm eating an ice cream sandwich, so.
Okay. Well, let's welcome all the way from that great blue state of New York. He's in charge. Yes, it's Charles. Welcome, Charles.
Hey, Art.
And how's the weather in your neck of the woods?
Kind of warm, but sunny and relatively nice.
Good. Good to hear. It's almost like fall weather here. I mean, we're in the mid to low 70s. Here it is. We're in it's August, first part of August. Usually, August is a month where it's still hot in the beginning. By the end of the month, it starts to cool down to where we'll be in the low 90s and 80s. But it's been kind of a cool summer. I don't even think we hit 100 this year in Denver.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got plenty of 100 degrees.
Yep.
Yeah,
all right.
It
We
was
got
like
Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk, in the chat.
Hey.
Welcome. Good to see you, sir. Are we simulcasting on other channels, Lloyd?
Not yet, but I will be. I just forgot to do that.
Yeah, see, if you would have been prepared.
Well, let's say.
So we had a lot happening this week. We had the Devon Archer testimony. That is Hunter Biden's business partner. So he had a lot to say and pretty much pointed the fingers to Joe Biden. He's the big guy that all this money was being funneled to. So I wonder when the impeachment will begin. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an impeachment. Yeah, it's actually I saw today yesterday apparently they read a letter that actually, was a note that was written by President Biden where he was apologizing to what's his name?
Devon.
Yeah, no, he's apologized. The guy that just the Hunter's partner. What's his name?
Devon Archer.
Devon Archer. Okay, yeah. Sorry, Charles, I couldn't hear for a second there. My my hearing is screwed up. They had some guy playing guitar, electric guitar last night. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. Anyways, so my hearing's shot. But anyways, yeah, there was a letter written to Devon Archer, a note saying he was sorry, but he was too busy entertaining the president of China to be able to stop and visit with him personally. But he thinks it's great that him and Hunter are together. So, yeah, that's actually I saw a copy of the note that they posted, and it's got his signature on his letterhead.
Right.
You know, it's like so. But, the impeachment, I don't think so. It's not going to happen. Because they got too many other things they got to worry about,
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I think what's going to end up happening, he'll probably end up stroking out and they'll take him out of office and we'll get stuck with the laughing hyena.
Yeah. It's true. On the other hand, she could be replaced with no other than Jared Polis.
Yeah, that's what you almost sound like you're wishing for that. Just I think you want to get him out of Colorado, right?
Yeah, we do. But whoever replaces him is hopefully is not as liberal as he is, but probably will, because at least Jared has been kind of, putting the brakes on some of the really nutty legislation that's been coming through. Yeah.
There's been a lot of that. I was just listening today. Apparently, California, because they're in the middle of a heat wave and having to use a lot of electricity, and of course, they're all about using wind turbines and renewable energies. Only 30% of their electricity is generated off of renewables. Instead, they're using power plants that are powered by natural gas. I think 40% of that comes from natural gas.
Right.
Poison the population.
And then the there's another 10% or 15% they're actually buying off from other states that use fossil fuels. So they're running at about about 70% of their stuff is all off of fossil fuels. So they've had to put a stop on their green initiative right now.
Right. And I see we got a new nuclear plant that just went online.
Oh, really?
In Colorado?
No. Okay.
We got Lake Pilot and we have Yellow Rose drones. And he was saying, well, that's because they need to buy more electric cars to put more of a load on the electric grid in California. And you're right. That's what's causing it. And
the power plant is in Waynesboro, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of electric cars, I just read today that in the North Sea there was a ship there with I don't have the dollar amount here, but it's 100 million pounds worth of high-end cars. 26 were EVs, and they just spontaneously caught fire.
Yes, I saw that. I remember.
Yeah. Well, I was just seeing something here today as well about an electric car. It took them 6 hours. There's one that's burst in flames, and it took them 6 hours to finally get the fire under control. And of course, all that was left was the frame. And as my niece said, she goes, "No, thank you. I drove the Pinto with the gas tank in the back. So why would I want to drive an electric car? I've already took my chances." So yeah, and that's the technology is great, but it's not safe yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true.
They've got to come up with a better plan for batteries. And they've got to come up with first off, we're going to be, with a lot of stuff where they get to make the chips, a lot of the stuff they use, we're having to buy it from China, and that's because they've gone into places like Afghanistan that have all that stuff that we gave up, so that they can make those chips. And so, make the stuff for the renewables. And it's just,
right.
We're not there yet. We want to live like Buck Rogers in the 25th century, but unfortunately, we aren't there yet,
Right. Yep.
And
we got Cool Cat and Dewey UAVP in the chat. Come on over to my channel. 3 Conservative Gimps.
Oh, they're on
Water's
my channel, aren't they?
fine over here.
Okay. Yeah, they're on my channel. Cool.
Yep.
Welcome, guys.
And we got Bill Coast to Coast Drones. Awesome. So, what happens every time somebody testifies before Congress? Trump gets indicted. Imagine that. So he got indicted again down in Georgia. Yeah.
No, Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Georgia one was the time before last.
Okay.
That was I don't know 3-4 weeks ago. Now he's
right.
These 4 new counts are in Washington D.C. and the reason they did it is because the one in Georgia, the judge is a Trump appointee. They wanted to get it back in a playing field that they have a little more control of. That's why they did it in Washington.
Oh, okay.
And
I see.
It's just I don't even remember. I don't think I even looked at it's a Washington. Dominic said, yeah.
And this was about, was this January 6th?
I think this was, I think this has more to do. Yeah, because it's probably one that will be thrown out eventually, simply because they basically start out with saying a person has the right, or a candidate has a right to disagree with the results of the election. But you can't disagree with the results of the election.
That's right.
You have a right to say what you believe, but you can't say what you want to say.
Right.
That's really how the 4 counts read. They're just, you have the right to do this, but you can't do it. And people are scratching their head going, what?
WTAF?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's basically, this one's going to really hinge on freedom of speech.
Right. Yes, it will. Cool Cat, you'll have to ask Lloyd to explain that joke to you.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah,
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, maybe we'll explain it on my show.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and that's where I told that joke.
That's where you told that joke. Wait until tomorrow night, Cool Cat, and we'll go into a little more detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pee-wee had a couple of idiosyncrasies, let's put.
Yes, he did.
And unfortunately, that's when he lost the Playhouse.
And also, did you notice there's a whole bunch of videos out about him? And it's like, boy, that was perfect timing for me to get my video out there just ahead of these guys.
Nana's Attic is watching. Welcome.
Oh, that would be Brad.
Brad, yes. Yeah, that's right. He's using, that's Catskills Brad, right?
Yes, it is. That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
He's using his other name account there. So, his other account. I knew who it was. It just it took me a second. Oh, wait a minute. I know who that is. So, and it looks like Mike B, the Drone Ranger, is watching.
He's over on your channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
But it's It's been a kind of a crazy week in the news. I mean, you got Donald Trump and Mike Pence are mad at each other. I think.
Yeah.
I think Pence has kind of ruined himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Now, with this indictment, so what happened to Trump's popularity?
Yeah, it went up. He's actually tied with Biden now. Yeah, he's actually tied ahead of Biden in most of the polls.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, he's slightly ahead in most polls, but basically it's a dead heat. But here's the kicker. If RFK Jr. decides to run third party, that's going to be the kicker. And this is where it's going to get really interesting to see the Democrats try to prevent him from running third party.
Well, and that's why they're going out and because of some of his stance, that's why they're making it a point to basically say he's walking around wearing his tinfoil hat.
Mm-hmm.
Although President this week talked about the UFOs, so he's they're all there, and so
yeah. and
yes, Mike,
RFK
you are on the wrong channel.
He's trying to pull the Democrat Party back towards the center. He just sees the party just going really nut job left. And I talk about this a little bit in the video that I released today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He really is more of a centrist. I look at him sort of like I do Bill Clinton, not Hillary, but Bill, because Bill was, when was it the midterm election? Was it 94 that they had the midterm that the Contract with America crowd came in?
Yeah, that would be Newt Gingrich.
Well, when they came into power, he kind of realized that hey, they got their butts kicked and he was going to have to work with them. And when you look at him compared to his wife, now she was far left Looney Tunes anyways, but he was
she got fired from the Watergate committee for lying.
Yeah.
So imagine that. She was a snake back in the day.
Yeah.
We got Steve Knowles, so we got representatives from the other side of the pond. So that's good.
Hey, Mike B.
Yeah, Mike B finally came on this channel. Lake Pilot's on here too. So
great. Great.
So, anyways, I'll let you go on with your checklist there because I know you have lots of things you want to say.
Yeah. So, what else I was going to say? So, a lot of stuff has happened, and Trump's popularity, every time they indict him, his numbers keep going up, and he is blowing away the Republicans, and he is way ahead of DeSantis. So it's looking like he could be the nominee, and I think secretly the Democrats want him to win because they think they could beat him again. But anything can happen between now and next year.
Yeah, this is true, but I was talking to my cousin the other day on the one I talk to all the time here or up in Tulsa, and I said, this situation with Trump right now and the way he keeps jumping ahead and the polls and all that stuff sort of reminds me of George W. And it reminds me of let's see, who else do we have? Who's that idiot senator from Utah? Ran for president.
Romney?
That guy, yeah. Notice how they pushed him and he won, and now pushing Trump, and they're trying to make it sound bad, like you don't want, but I think you're right. They really hope that he's there so they can beat him again, or try to beat him again. But just like McCain, McCain was put up. every time, this early in the polls when somebody's leading by this much, you got to really stop and say, and of course, we all know how bad the polls are,
Yeah.
and how crooked they are.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to kind of look at this and say, who's pushing the poll numbers? Who's really pushing the poll numbers? Is it
Mm-hmm.
people like us that
Right.
probably will vote for Trump? If do I think he's the best candidate out there? He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I voted for him last time. I'll vote for him this time, but I'm not sure he's with everything that's going on. I'm not sure he's the best candidate for
Right.
the Republican Party at the moment. That's my personal opinion. And
Yeah,
and
I agree with you. But if you look at what he did in the 4 years he was president, I mean,
oh yeah,
he got more done than any president in their first term.
yeah, and unfortunately, though, it was all done with executive orders, and that's not how to make it.
Well,
permanent.
I mean, well,
Not
look
all
at
of
the
it was.
Abraham Accord. I mean, no Republican was ever able
That's
to
true.
do something like
That.
and
That
he
is
was
true.
able to cut taxes, got the economy just humming along, and the only thing that stopped him was the pandemic, and the way he handled the pandemic. I think that was his Achilles heel.
Oh, definitely, and I think a lot of it also was, I heard this. The established government, the government that really runs, the people, the bureaucracy, and the self awareness of the all the underpinnings of the government. Right now, they say, they're in their minds, and they pretty much prove it with our justice system right now, with the DOJ and all of that. They run the government. These people that are elected are basically King Charles.
Right, they're figureheads.
That's all. They're figureheads. They don't really even our Congress, our congressional leaders, our congressional members, both in the Senate and the House. They're voted in, but they could all go away tomorrow, and our government would still get up and open the doors, and until we got another elected group in place. But hey, Mudball, glad to see you.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Don.
And we got Rob Supreme 3, who, by the way, won some awesome prizes from my fishing channel last week.
Oh, good.
So, is somebody bumping their table or something? It sounds like they're, every time I hear something.
It could be me because I'm sitting here, but I'm not really.
There, I hear it again. Oh, there.
Well, mute me and see if it keeps up.
Okay. Nope, see if it's Charles. Nope. Oh, it must be me then.
It must be you because I wasn't hearing it. That's why I said I didn't know what you're talking about. I was looking. I have this because of the problem with my legs. I tend to move a lot. It irritates me to see me going back and forth, but I do it, But it's just the way my legs react, and so keeps me from having problems. But yeah, what's this? USA politics and UK2 are yeah, there you go. Are bonkers right now. Who would have ever thought that authoritarianism would be a liberal tenant, as well as chopping of kids? Yeah.
Yep.
The Overton window has shifted too far left. Yes, it has. Yeah.
Yep.
Mike says it was him. He was bumping his desk. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So, still trying to fit. Maybe if I turn down, I got. You know what I gotta do? I gotta move this this drone that I got here. I got this.
Oh, yeah.
This DJI drone. And I just got the new landing gear for it.
Oh, cool.
So, it came with landing gear, but they were busted.
Yeah.
Not
Still
hearing
hearing it?
that sound, so it must have been the way that drone was sitting on my desk was doing something.
Yeah. Maybe it is possessed and was trying to take off on its own.
Ooh, yeah. So, my charger will be here tomorrow. So,
I know what it was. They have probably already installed remote ID, and not only can they tell where you're flying, they can fly it themselves now. So they
there
probably
you go.
That's for another channel, though.
That's right.
But then we're talking about government overreach, so there you go. That's
So, anybody know what is special about this day?
they dropped the bombs on Hiroshima.
That's correct. That's correct. And what was special about this bomb?
Other than it being atomic?
No, it was a type that they never tested.
Oh, okay. That's right. They didn't test this one, did they?
This was a uranium bomb, and they used what they called the gun type mechanism, to where they had like a ring of uranium, and they shot it into another piece of uranium and that part where they shot it to had some polonium initiators that initiated the
reaction.
reaction.
The uranium. Yeah.
So, and the end that the shotgun was going to push that slug of uranium in had a big plug on the end, because it was really dense up there, because they wanted to, and they had to reach a specific velocity for the initiation to get going, to where it would go super critical. And they knew that this was going to work anyway. So they didn't use any plutonium in it. It was all uranium. And it was a lower yield. It was only something like 13 kilotons. So
really?
where the Fat Man was 25 kilotons. Yeah, and that was an implosion device using mainly plutonium at the center, but it had a uranium initiator shell around that with beryllium to reflect the neutrons, and then it had explosive lenses, where the outer was the fast explosives, and the inner was the slower, so it would compress that core down to where it would give a bigger bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Where with the other the little boy that was dropped today, did you know that only 10% of it actually exploded?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because of the way the design was, it was an implosion device. So when it shot through the other end of the basically a gun type bomb, it just shot out the rest of the uranium, and that's why it was a lower yield. Yes, you're right, Mickey H. It was 60 to 70% enriched uranium. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Yeah, the last few days I've been studying up on, because I knew this anniversary was coming up,
Right.
and now there's some really cool videos coming out with some really cool graphics that show you how this all works. And it's like, wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, you talking about all that reminds me. There's a it happened. I can't remember when it happened. Like in the '60s, maybe. This young man built an atomic bomb in his basement. He was a very ingenious. Yeah, he's 11, 12, 13-year-old kid.
Oh, yes, I know. It wasn't an atomic bomb, it was a reactor.
Oh,
You know what
reactor.
he
That's right. It's
used
atomic.
to make that?
I can't remember because it's been a while since I've read about it. But it
It
was just
was radioactive elements from smoke detectors.
smoke detector. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
American.
Yes.
And he just wanted to build a reactor. And he
Right.
was
Right.
buying all these smoke detectors. He got a really good deal where he got them
Yeah.
real cheap. And he was building this out in his shed out in the backyard.
Out in his
Then,
backyard. Yeah.
Then the FBI showed up and shut him down. And sadly, this kid passed away before he was 30 years old of cancer.
Cancer. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was really high on the intelligence scale. And I
Yes,
would
he was.
imagine he's kind of like Sheldon Cooper type
Right.
smart.
Right.
Yeah. Borderline autistic, maybe.
Well, I've known a couple geniuses
Mhm.
in my life. I mean, true.
Well, thank you.
Well, I'll say I know three then if I count you. But uh, if he's a true genius, he would tell better jokes. But anyway, that's beside it. But I've known
Yeah,
a
but
couple.
who sent those books to me?
That's true. My fault. I know. Sorry, folks. But they, one of them, he was I'm not sure if he's still alive or not, but he actually was the designer of the moon drill. That was used, and he had autograph. He was a genius, but he was weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Then his nephew was also a genius. I mean, he took a bunch of, this is back in the 60s, he took a bunch of toilet paper tubes and made a shotgun microphone that you could hear from 3 blocks away. I mean, it's that, and he could tune it in and it's all made out of tubes and just long paper tubes, like from toilet paper and Christmas wrapping and stuff. And that's what he did for a hobby. He made stuff. He made an electric bike. He used the generator off of the little those. Remember, you get those little headlights you put on the bicycle and you flip it, and this little generator would go on there.
It's got a generator on it. Yeah.
Right. Well, he used that to power. He amped it up and used that to make a motor on an electric bike. And this was in 1966.
Wow.
Yeah. And it
Well,
was just.
I remember mopeds back in the 70s where they put
Yeah.
a little, 2-stroke motor on the front wheel.
Right.
That,
Yeah. Yeah, well, he did that, and that's what he did for hobbies. He was a foster child that my grandparents raised. Now his nephew was even smarter than he was, but he was also a little crazier because he ended up finally going out and hanging himself. But they say that, and I know this because my uncle is the one who worked for the mortuary service and had to go pick him up. The forensic people measured the knot. He made a 13-knot hangsman noose, and it was placed absolutely perfect. Every knot, every circle of that rope was almost perfect. It was almost there was no variation, millimeters. They said this was the most perfect hangsman noose that they at the time had seen, and he knew how to hang himself. And unfortunately, he hung himself. But
hell of a distinction.
that's where, he hung himself with distinction. Yeah, exactly. But this is the problem when you get these genius types. They're always on the edge of insanity. I've noticed. In his case, it went towards insanity, and his uncle's case, well, he's gone insane now too because he now lives in a trailer house. He banned the police from coming to his house. He's cut all of his phone lines, and he lives. And my uncle is supposed to, when he dies off, my uncle is supposed to go through and sort all his stuff out. Don't just throw it away, because he actually has a mobile home there outside of Denver, and he dug a full finished basement under. He cut out a spot in the floor and then started building a full finished basement and an underground cavern there.
Oh boy.
But he used to work for Martin Marietta. He was one of their top designers.
Wow.
You know? And, so you never know about geniuses having that much IQ. Because I think both of them, their IQ levels were up around, I can't remember I think one of them was 190.
Right.
Wow.
And I can't remember if the other one was over 200 or if he was under. I can't remember, but they were they're smart guys,
Yep.
But they were crazy.
Now,
They were
on YouTube, there is a video that shows you the smartest people in the world, and they show you the Einstein was pretty darn smart. He was in the 170s.
170, yeah.
There were guys that were over 200.
Yeah.
And they weren't in this century. They were a long time ago. Like,
oh yeah.
Isaac Newton was over 200. Galileo.
Yeah, the only trouble with the basement under a trailer is it's very difficult to take it with you when you move the trailer. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I told my uncle, I said, whatever you do, don't just go in there and just trash everything. Because he's probably got patents on 90% of this stuff, and who knows what in the hell he's invented. That's a problem. He has a huge amount of patents and stuff that he's,
That's true. That could
don't
be
just throw
worth
that
a
shit
lot
away.
of
It
money.
could be, you might, I said, you might, because, I'm his only nephew now, and I said, you might actually help further my life, My uncle's
there
80,
you go.
so I figure, well, if he inherits that from him and then I inherit it from my uncle, I'm like, by the time I'm 80, I might have lots of money too.
Well, you just might get that positronic brain to hook up.
Yeah.
You could be like Data,
never
where
know.
all your stuff gets downloaded into a positronic net, and you'll be like gold skin with yellow eyes, like Data.
Yeah, well, they fixed that. They improved that. Now he just looks old.
Yeah, that's true.
He looks a lot like Brent Spiner.
Yeah. We got Chuck Kovac in the chat. By the way, Chuck, that was an awesome video of Vermont where you went to that pizza place. Lloyd, do you remember Woody's Pizza?
I do, yes.
And where were they?
Hell if I know.
Downtown Golden.
That's right. They were in Golden. Yeah.
So next time, Chuck, you're out this way, go to Woody's. We'll have dinner over there. Yeah. Their pizza
I remember that.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I like Papa John's, but their pizza is like, okay, the next couple notches above that.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we have a place here in town called Paisano's Pizza, and they make a good pizza, but I don't go there very often because Judy doesn't really like that much pizza, and it's just I usually have to wait because they usually have everything's buffet, so I don't want to sit there. I just want to get my pie and go home.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
we have a place in Grand Junction called Shakey's. Shakey's
Oh
Pizza.
yes, Shakey's Pizza. I remember
my God!
that.
And they served beer there, and at the time, the drinking age was 18, so I spent a lot of time at Shakey's on the weekends.
And believe it or not, they have Shakey's in the Philippines.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
I wish they had them around here. We got Papa John's and Little Caesars, and of course Pizza Hut and
Pizza. You know what? Pizza Hut used to be pretty good. Now they're like, eh.
Yeah, Pizza Hut,
Once in a
Mazzio's.
while, they taste pretty decent, but nah.
We have a Pizza Inn up here that does a good pizza. But
Welcome to
anyways,
Three
back to the
Conservative
president.
Gimps and Pizza Channel.
Pizza review. Yeah, the pizza review.
Pizza review.
So, Charles, what good pizza places you got where you live?
Well, we don't have any big places any closer than like a 30 to 35-minute drive from where I live. So the only thing I can talk about are the very small local places. There's a place called Marpy's. Well, actually, the big deal is this pizza that we've called it tavern pizza because when I was a kid, when the dinosaurs roamed,
right?
There was literally a tavern about maybe 3.5 or 4 miles away from this house, and the pizza there was very unique. It had a very unique flavor, and everybody loved it. And the woman that made the pizza in this tavern, in this little bar / tavern, never told anybody the secret until like she was just about ready to pass away or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's a couple places that claim to have purchased that recipe and have access to that recipe.
Yeah.
But they're each kind of doing their own little version of it. It comes close, but not quite. So that's that locally. That is the hot pizza, the big deal pizza. That's why there's a little convenience store called Marpy's, and they're one of the places that does the tavern pizza. They do like an excellent normal pizza. There's a small place called the Shagaval, which makes their own pizza, and they do excellent pizza. And an actual bar called, I think they're still called Henderson's, and they're the other place that does the tavern style pizza. But they also have regular pizza that's excellent, along with a lot of other, these places also serve subs and all kinds of excellent stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We got Mickey
McH is right.
Jody, Joe Fotoleo, and I think is Drone Shot in here too as well.
Well, I thought I saw that somebody say something to him earlier, but I haven't seen him. But Mark R. White is also here.
Oh, Mark R. White. Okay, cool. We got a good crowd tonight.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not seeing a lot of these people. They must be on Lloyd's channel.
Yes,
a lot of them are on my channel, and I'm watching them. There's a setting, I'm going to have to look at it tomorrow when I set up my show, that allows the guest to be able to make comments and highlight comments too, but I'm not sure.
Joe says Jody is here. Okay. Well,
Jody is here. Okay.
Good to see you, Jody.
Oh, Jody's on my channel. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I should. So. Yeah, a good pizza place, with a good old-fashioned pizza oven, they're not.
Right. Mm-hmm. Carrabba's, they've got wood fire pizza. They're pretty good too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good old-fashioned pizza oven, you can't beat that. But
so
Joe,
go over to Three Conservative Gimps and check out the video that I released today on right versus left explained. So I explain it in plain language what the difference is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good explanation. It does tell you where because
where the Republicans stand and Democrats.
And not just Republicans, but
libertarians, anarchists,
conservatives. Conservatives versus liberals, and anything in between. I think you did a good job of explaining that. So
right. Yep.
But
I've been getting. I got a couple comments so far, which is good, and hopefully we could start making some more videos, and what I'll do is I forgot to put an end card in it. So next time I'll put one in. I'll have one that's especially for this channel. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like the new
the new logo that's up over there.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
And I also changed the thumbnail. That's going to change. It's going from green to red. So I think that'll help out.
Yeah, that way they won't think we're part of the green movement. You know.
Right. And also I made a new MOV type thumbnail. You know, like when I do my drone intro, I'll say, well, you know, you have problems with the inbound drone? Well, stick around, and then you'll see my intro. So I got one for 3 Conservative Gimps that's on that latest video. Which I used a little bit of animation where, you know, the logo goes in and all the wording kind of comes out of the side.
Did you see what Mickey McAce put up there? Says, what are 3 things that don't hang themselves? Answer: drywall, Christmas lights, and Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, that's
that was well done. Well done. So that was a good one. Yeah. So. But yeah, I forgot.
So other big news is yesterday, Colorado GOP committee had their big meeting yesterday, and you know, Colorado has 2 factions in the GOP. We got the RMGO, really nut job wing, you know, way out there, and then we have the moderate Republicans, and so the RMGO wing, they want to get rid of allowing unaffiliates to participate in our primary. So
that's kind of that's well, yeah, I could see in Colorado maybe, but you're also cutting out a lot of the possible conservative thinking independents by doing that.
That's right. And plus, the Republican Party is the smallest party here in Colorado with 24%, where the unaffiliates are almost 50%.
Great.
I mean, they're at 47%, so they're the big chunk of the electorate. So they're worried that, these Democrats are going to start picking our candidates. And so far, it's been in effect since, 2016, and hasn't really made much of a dent.
Difference one. Yeah.
So
why he brings up the same thing about Georgia's going to try for a 4th indictment. So maybe you were right on that, but I know that the one that happened just yesterday or day before, a couple of days ago, was in Washington, D.C., and I thought they'd already done some in Georgia.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, but they may be going for some more indictments. They just keep, they've got to keep indicting Trump so that nobody's looking at Joe Biden and all his every time, like you said, every time they have
a testimony at the Capitol.
Yeah, testimony at the Capitol. Well, they turn around.
They got to indict Trump.
Yeah. And like I said, there's a lot of we've got other candidates out there. I don't know what's going to be the best combination. I'm not even sure. At one point, I was pretty strong with DeSantis, but even now, I'm
Yeah, he's all
Yeah.
caught up with the culture war going on down there in Florida. Yeah.
Trump is Teflon. Biden is not much better. Yeah. There's a thing. His dogs. You know, they need to do his dogs. They
That's right.
all
One
of
of
dog
his
crap.
dogs
bit.
bit one of the Secret Service guys.
He's done it more than once. I mean, it's come out now that he's bit several of them, and at least one of them's had to go to the hospital to get stitches.
Wow.
And they removed him from the White House and sent him back to Delaware for a while because and he keeps bringing them back, and they're untrained. And anytime you have an untrained dog like that has a vicious tendency, you know, you can't bring them around other people because they're scared. They're out of their environment. They're going to strike out. Dogs, it's like our male Chihuahua. He was scared when we got him. He was like scared. I think from the moment he was born, he was scared, and he tends to be a little aggressive.
Lloyd, he's a Chihuahua. I think it's a genetic thing.
We've had Chihuahuas that weren't. Now this guy, our Chihuahua, boy, we're getting to the point now that I'm having to put him in a kennel part of the time just to get him to calm down because he gets too aggressive. And
okay.
And it's usually when he gets really scared, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the thing with Biden's dogs, they're going to have to do something about them. I mean, just because they're the president's dog doesn't make them special. They were rescues, which is a great thing. I think that's wonderful. But you're an 80-year-old or an 80-some-odd-year-old man. You don't need to be, you need to have dog trainers go in and train these dogs.
Although, you remember Barney? That was George W. Bush's dog. He actually bit a reporter.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. You know, also that's part of the problem with dogs is they get around a bunch of people they're not used to. They're going to be aggressive. It's just Mike says his old lady wants to put him in the kennel too. Yeah. So does mine. But yeah, I mean, and they're harping on that because, you know, hey, let's talk about the president's dog. Everybody get up in arms about that, but let's not talk about the president, you know, writing a note to,
right. And not only are they up about a dog, but they are up in arms about a cat that they removed before the president was to step out of the White House. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
There was a cat that was outside where the president was going to step out the dog, and they came over and removed the cat, and everybody's all pissed off about that.
Well, they probably, you know, it was probably a good thing for the cat because he probably would have tripped over the damn thing anyways.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't laugh about him tripping. I mean, he's an old man. I mean, I got bruises on my legs where I tripped this last week. I've been tripping all over the damn place, so I'm not going to make fun of him for tripping. That happens with old people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm not a leader of the free world. Not yet.
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey McH, yeah, you're right. But you know what? There are a bunch of Democrat senators that may
not
lose their job.
They may lose their jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, we may flip up to 8 to 10 seats.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. We were supposed to flip so many back in 20, and it didn't happen. The big flip was a big flop, you know.
Mm-hmm. And also, they're talking about Cruz might get knocked out. I don't think so. He's pretty popular in Texas.
He is pretty popular in Texas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's he may not be popular with anybody else, but in his part of in Texas, he's still pretty popular. Texas hasn't quite swung all the way over to the left yet. They're still pretty right of center still.
But he's a senator, so that's a statewide.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is still overall, Texas is still right of center.
Yes.
They may have a lot of Californians that's moved in there, but they haven't got control of it yet. But although, it hadn't been that long ago that, or that far in the past, that the governor of Texas was a lady that was a liberal.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Ann Richards.
Yeah, and if you ever watch the movie G.I. Jane, that old gal that's in the movie that plays the senator from Texas, to me that was Ann Richards all over. I mean, that's who they were trying. That's who they were trying to say. I'm just an old broad from Texas. I have to make decisions that would make Moses shake. Or make King Solomon shake in his boots. It's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And to me, it was just the character, the way the lady that played her, just reminded me of governor of Texas. So it hadn't been that long ago that Texas was a liberal state or a Democrat state.
Look at Connolly, Democrat, and then he became a Republican.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta take into consideration the change in the way the parties have kind of shifted. That sort of shift in ideologies. And I looked up. I was reading something the other night about the Democratic. They were called Democratic Republicans. Mm-hmm. Which eventually became the Whig Party, which eventually I think ended up becoming the Republican Party that it is today, the Grand Old Party, GOP. Yep. But you had that. You had the Adams and Jefferson group, and I think the Democratic Republicans were Jeffersonians.
Yep. And then there were the Federalists.
The Federalists were the were they the Madison/Adams group? I can't remember now. Yeah, I think Jefferson and Madison were pretty much on the same page for a while, but then they kind of split, and
Yep.
And then and of course we know that Adams and Jefferson did not get along. So
right, we got Mr. B. Hey, Bill, good to see you. So we managed to eke out an hour. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming, and please tell your friends that are of like mind about this channel. Let's grow this. We're almost at 500. I just need to build up the watch hours, and I'm going to try my darndest to crank out some more videos so we could get more content other than the live streams. So
people don't necessarily have to be like-minded. Because because what we talk about here is politics, American politics,
right.
Colorado and Oklahoma politics, and a little bit of New York politics. And the plethora of how it affects all of us,
right.
here in the States. And it's nice to have some, we know we're not going to get the far left, but people that are centrist or slightly left of center, they're welcome too. Sometimes they pop up a good idea, and we discuss that at length from our, of course, this is all opinion, so.
Right. And also this channel is about informing the public so that they can make better decisions later.
Exactly.
So everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. We'll see you all next week, and have a great Sunday. Good night, y'all.
Later, everyone.